Cruise Control is your on-air automotive magazine. Go to cruisecontrolradio.com and like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This is Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine with co-hosts Fred Staub and Les Jackson. Everything you need to know about new and used cars. Industry news. We'll fix or repair your car on the air. Fasten your seatbelts and let us take the wheel. Now, your ride is about to begin because you're on Cruise Control. Cruise Control. Cruise Control.
And welcome to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. I'm Fred Staub. He is none other than Les Jackson. We're glad he's with us. We're all glad that you're with us. Got a full hour of great automotive information. We're going to start this hour with Lexus announcing its Teammate Advanced Drive system. And they're also taking on distracted driving, Les. It is Distracted Driving Month, and they want to raise awareness about that.
It's a crisis around the country, and anything we can do to help.
Yeah.
And Toyota debuts the GR86, and it's no replacement for displacement.
Yeah, remember we were kind of teasing that up.
Oh, yes.
And that Toyota and Subaru would be making an announcement. There's a lot of rumors floating around that there might be a BRZ STI, but we don't have anything on that, but we'll keep you up to date on that. Also, Jeep updates the Compass. Competition's a good thing, Les. They have to up their game on that.
That's right. It helps. Look what we can buy. Hey, if you're planning any kind of a trip this summer and renting a car, you better be prepared for sticker shock because prices for rental cars are skyrocketing. Yeah,
they say an economy car may cost you $300 a day. $300 a day. You used to be able to get a week for that.
Yeah, it used to be like $30 a day.
Yeah. Well, we'll tell you what's going on and why those prices are high, and if you're planning that summer vacation, you might be in for a surprise. And Hummer reveals its crab-walking 830 horsepower EV SUV. And are you ready, Les Jackson, for some tactical tech? Are you ready?
No.
Okay.
I still haven't gotten ready or used to the tactical flashlight and tactical sunglasses from TV.
I believe there's a tactical toothbrush, too.
Oh, of course.
It just cuts away the stuff on your teeth. Yeah. Well, we're going to get the information from Tom Namovich, who is the Hummer EV product manager. He's going to join us in a little bit on Cruise Control. So a full hour of great automotive news and information, Les Jackson. We'll talk about that and more on Cruise Control when we come back. I'm Fred Staub. He's Les Jackson. You're on Cruise Control. Cruise Control is live every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern on Facebook and YouTube. For the latest news on new models, automotive tech, industry insider interviews, and new vehicle reviews, tune in live starting at 10 a.m. Eastern every Saturday on YouTube and Facebook Live.
Cruise Control.
Hey, welcome back to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. I'm Les. He's Fred.
Hello.
We got a lot to talk about, Fred, before our guest comes on later, so we should just go ahead and get to it.
Yeah, let's talk about some technology that's going to be coming up on a cool vehicle, the 2022 LS 500H. It's an all-new partial hands-free functions, including advanced drive and advanced park. Let's talk about what does advanced drive mean. And it's designed to detect driving conditions, to plan and execute acceleration, braking, and steering commands to maintain the vehicle within the lane, follow other vehicles, change lanes, navigate certain interchanges and traffic jams, and overtake slower vehicles. I read that directly from the release because
I know I like the. You know what? This is intelligent cruise control 2.0.
2.0 and lane change is the big
Which is
thing.
great.
Yeah,
Because
lane change is
one thing you and I have talked about in the past is, boy, wouldn't it be great if this thing knew how to overtake a slower vehicle, or wanted to change a lane itself, because it knows I want to maintain a certain speed and I'm, trying to get to somewhere by a certain time. It's just great.
Well, the other thing that's neat is the fact that if you're in a traffic jam, you can take your hands off the wheel and you can take your feet off the pedals.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that is very taxing, traffic jams. I know I've been in some traffic jams for over an hour, and it's really bad if you have a manual
You get
transmission.
frustrated constantly creeping, hitting the pedals, creeping forward.
Yeah. So this is going to be available on the 2022 LS500H. I drove this vehicle over the summer, and it's a really wonderful, large, luxurious sedan. Sedan, Les Jackson. Notice I said sedan.
I appreciate that.
And it was great, and it was loaded with technology. Now, there's more technology coming up. Advanced Park assists the operations necessary for hands-free, safe, and secure parking by automatically controlling steering, acceleration, braking, and gear changes when parallel parking or backing into a parking space using 360-degree sensing. It also gives you a bird's eye view, which I would not get a vehicle without that bird's eye view.
I wouldn't either. Once you have it, you got to have it.
You know what I wondered? Why don't they put that on tractor trailers?
Well, maybe they do now.
Wouldn't that make it a lot easier to back into a place where you're going to offload?
I would think. I frankly, if I were driving the tractor trailer, I would I would have to have that, because you'd imagine the number of maneuvers I'd try before I got the thing in there straight.
Yeah, exactly. Those are two bits of technology that will be coming out on the 2022 Lexus LS500H. Pretty cool. Now, we also want to tell you about this. You can go over to our Facebook page and check out this video. The Distracted Driving Awareness Month. We're in that right now. And Lexus has put up this great video where they take drivers and they tell them, okay, we're just going to try out this car. And they go around cones in a parking lot. And then all of a sudden they flick a switch and the glass goes opaque, I guess what it would be. And you can't see. But they only hold that up for 4.6 seconds. Matter of fact, they tell them the new vehicle is called the 4.6. They put a nameplate on. And the idea is that's how long it takes you to read and send a reply to a text. In that time frame, you can go the distance greater than a football field, right?
Absolutely. You shouldn't be texting in a car while you're moving under any circumstance. But since people do, and by the way, Fred, do you drive any day you're driving, do you somehow not see somebody who's distracted?
I see them all the time, man. I notice them right away. I think I would make a pretty good cop because I could see them right away, and I would light them up and say, what are you doing with the phone? What drives me crazy is when I see the vehicle moving and they're not looking. So we'll talk a little bit more about distracted driving when we come back on Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. I'm Fred Staub. He's Les Jackson. We will be right back. Check out the live show on our YouTube page, Cruise Control, Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, live on YouTube.
Cruise Control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control Radio. I'm Fred Staub. He's Les Jackson. We're glad you're along for the ride. Don't forget to check us out at our Facebook page, cruisecontrolradio.com. Actually, that'll get you to our Facebook page and our Twitter feed. It's all there. We were talking about Distractive Driving Awareness Month. If you head on over to our Facebook page, we got a great video up from the folks at Lexus. And we were telling you how they told people we're going to test this car out. And it's called the 4.6. And they would be driving on the course, and all of a sudden they would make the windows go opaque for 4.6 seconds. And they would start running into things. And the idea, Les, yes, the idea is to show what can happen in 4.6 seconds if you're sending a text, right?
Absolutely. And of course, you know, that's the minimum time it takes to send a text.
Yeah, exactly. And it's normally something stupid like, your auto warranty is about to expire.
Yeah.
on your 25-year-old car. It's something stupid, or a stupid little animated smiley face or something. And guess what? Now you've gone across the lane, flipped over, hit somebody else. You know, it's really important. And you were saying that, do I see people driving and texting all the time? I do. I see them looking at their phone, and the car is moving forward, and they're just bent down looking at their phone, and the car's moving forward into traffic, which usually elicits a giant horn burst for me.
And at every stoplight, there's somebody who doesn't go when the light changes, and you can look, and 100% of the time they're looking down at their hand, and they're clearly texting.
Yep. Or have you ever experienced this on the highway? Someone starts slowing down. They were doing 65. Now we're doing 55. Now we're doing 40. And guess what they're doing? They're looking at their phone. Slower, slower, slower. And they're right in the middle lane. And the lights would come on if I was a cop and say, is there a problem with your car, or is there a problem with your phone? Yeah.
We'll just take that phone from you
and smash it into the ground.
You can pick it up in court.
Yeah. It is, though, I'm really glad Lexus is bringing this out because it is a very selfish activity, because you are basically putting everyone else at risk because you want to answer text. You know, don't use it. Don't do it. It's just not worth it. It's a stupid thing to do. And you're gonna hurt somebody else, if not yourself, but you could hurt somebody else. So, hey, let's move it along and talk about a big debut this week: Toyota Gazoo Racing, the world debut of the new GR86. It is quite a nice looking vehicle, and the nice thing about it, Les, is it's got more horsepower thanks to a 2.4-liter boxer engine, up from the 2-liter engine of the past. Not bad.
Not bad at all. It was nothing wrong with it in the past, and now it's just I'd call it a sprint car, I guess.
Yeah, it has a lot of other new features here. They use aluminum for the roof panels to get a lower center of gravity. There's more rigidity in the body. It's been the torsional rigidity has been enhanced by about 50% over the previous model for greater steering stability. It is a good-looking vehicle. Even the interior looks nice on that. Of course, you can get the BRZ, which is the Subaru version of this. I'm gonna go out on a limb. You know what this reminds me of, sort of? It is like a mini Corvette. Not the mid-engine Corvette, but it's like a mini C7 Corvette, just like the Opel GT was like a mini C3 Corvette.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can see that.
Rear drive. It's got the low scooping nose. It's got the high back. two-door vehicle. I think it's a cool vehicle. I drove one a number of years ago. It's time to get back into it because I think it's a lot of fun. A lot of people are using the older versions of these for autocrossing, which it's perfect for that. I just think it's a fun little car, and this is going to just take it to the next level.
To me, when I look at them, it reminds me of the Porsche 928.
Okay, I would say so. I think that's a good way to put it. Interior nice, good stuff from the folks.
Yeah, and the bargain price.
Yeah, bargain price. Here's something though that doesn't come at a bargain price, and that is rental cars.
Ooh,
Remember when
boy.
Hertz went bankrupt and they sold off like 250,000 cars at one shot? Remember that?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, rental cars could cost you a lot more. Increases of over 300% are being reported. This is according to the Points guy, which is the guy that talks about travel and how to get a good deal. Apparently, you can't get one. And rental rates are soaring in Arizona, Hawaii, Florida. They're charging as much as $300 a day for economy-sized cars. The problem is supply is being outweighed by demand because of Hertz and their bankruptcy.
Right, and other companies have sold off some of their fleets during the pandemic.
Yeah, and they can't find rental cars, and I tell you, that is pretty intense. That would be a bad surprise, wouldn't it?
It would be a bad surprise where they just tell you, look, if you want a car,
$300 a day
in Honolulu, it's going to cost you $350 a day, and we can't guarantee what the car is going to be.
Does Rent-A-Wreck still exist? Remember Rent-A-Wreck?
I've been meaning to look that up just to see if they still are.
Well, you know what you could do too? There's Turo, I think it is called, where people rent you their car.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
I would never do it either.
I might rent someone else's car if I could get it for less than $300 a day, though, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah.
But I would never. I think the use for that service is if you're looking to buy, let's say, a Tesla, and you don't want to buy, you don't want to go to the dealer and do a test drive. You could rent it, and that might be a good thing. But yeah, that's a surprise. If you're planning a vacation, you might be in for a untimely surprise or a timely surprise, I guess.
It'll be disappointing.
$1,500 a month, $1,500 a week for a basic car.
You could almost buy a car and then turn it in.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when we come back, we are going to talk about another vehicle that was released this week, and that is none other than, as I like to refer to it, the crab-walking 830 horsepower EV SUV. It's the Hummer EV. Hummer EV product manager. It's the EV SUV is what we're talking about. And we're going to have on Tom Namovich, who is the Hummer EV product manager. And he is going to talk about this vehicle. That's a lot to talk about, a lot of capability, a lot of technology. He'll be coming up after the break, and I'm excited to talk about it. The cool thing is, Les, it is shorter than the pickup truck version, so that makes it even better off-road. We'll talk about that. Crab walking, where the vehicle can almost move sideways. I always thought that would be something that I would like in a vehicle.
Yep.
And
I've always thought so too.
Yeah, it's got crab walking capability. It's got four-wheel steering. And it is quite the vehicle. And definitely, if you went back in time, you would definitely notice this to be a Hummer. It really has that look. So Tom will join us after the break. Stay tuned to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine with Fred Staub and Les Jackson. We will be right back, so stay tuned. Got a topic or a vehicle you'd like Cruise Control to cover? Leave us a comment on our Cruise Control Radio Facebook page.
Cruise Control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Big news this week from the folks at Hummer. It is exciting. The Hummer SUV, EV SUV. We wanted to know more about this amazing vehicle, amazing and capable vehicle, Les Jackson. So we have Tom Namovich, who is the Hummer EV product manager, with us. Tom, welcome to Cruise Control. It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me, Fred. I appreciate it. Hi, Les.
How are you? And are you, in fact, driving a Hummer right now?
I wish I was. I don't know what kind of background you're seeing. It looks like a really cheesy home office to me.
Well, I don't mean right at this moment, but
he means have you driven one of the new EV Hummers?
Yeah, I've driven the pickup. So I've spent some time in the pickup. The news of this past week is that we've introduced the SUV, which is showing on video right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's quite a machine, and it definitely has that historic Hummer look.
Yeah, you're not going to mistake it for something.
You know what it is.
Yeah, something else.
Yeah, I mean, the first go around at Hummer was definitely a unique vehicle and capable vehicle, and then now we've, as part of the GMC brand and as the Hummer EV model, we've made just a breathtaking, if not, I'll argue even more breathtaking vehicle than anything from the past.
Well, let's talk about it a little bit, Tom. I mean, first of all, there is a Hummer EV pickup, and now there is the SUV. And the SUV is even better off-road because it's got a little bit shorter wheelbase, right?
Yeah, we're about 9 inches shorter wheelbase, and that improves our breakover angle. And also with the SUV, it's got a shorter rear overhang as well. So our departure angles improved significantly too.
Wow. And Les, I mean, EVs for off-roading has got to be a great thing with instant torque. Basically, it's like an on-off switch for your vehicle.
And also, Tom, I would imagine that with the electric power, your ability to crawl over things has to be dramatically better than any other previous type of drivetrain.
Yeah, I mean, we're very pleased with it. Our test engineers they've been conducting miles and hours of test time of the vehicle now off-road. And we've got great opportunities. We talk about the torque, the instant torque, the ability to creep at low speeds. You don't need any reduced gears. We've got a one pedal off-road driving mode as well. So when you're descending, you can also keep the vehicle in check with that then too. So it's really it's a fantastic off-road capable vehicle, and the electric part is just a bonus on top of it. And there's many good features of that though too.
Yeah, well, let's talk about some of those good features. And if anyone's saying, "Oh, I'm really upset the internal combustion engine is going away and they're bringing out all these electrics," let me hit you with a couple of numbers. There's a 3-motor version of this vehicle. It can deliver up to 830 horsepower.
Yep.
11,500 pound-feet of torque, and that nets you 3.5 seconds 0 to 60 time. I would be happy with those numbers, Tom.
Well, we're happy as well, and you should see the smiles on the faces of our engineers that are driving the vehicles now. So it's an incredibly fast vehicle with the 3-motor setup. That's what we're going to launch with. Our Edition 1 will have the 3-motor configuration, and very similar to the pickup with the 3 motors too. So we got torque vectoring, all-wheel drive, our E4-wheel drive is part of that then too. And it screams on road with that 0 to 60 time, and then off road as well. That it's power to the pavement or to the trails. It's really fantastic.
What is the total suspension travel on that? I mean, I'm looking at the at the distance between the inner fender and the wheels in the video, and it just looks like you could almost drive over, a 24-inch log with this thing
Well,
at
well,
speed.
yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. I mean, we've got 13 inches suspension travel, and we got some unique settings for the vehicle as well. So there's a standard mode that the vehicle drives in, then we offer a terrain mode, which takes it up 2 inches, and that's for your conventional off-roading. And then when you get into any precarious position where you might have a rock to crawl over, or get yourself out of a jam where you bottom the vehicle out, or you're stuck in some mud, we can get into the extract mode, which raises it an additional 4 inches for low speed driving. So 6 inches height, even over and above where we're at with the standard curb height for the vehicle.
Yeah, the technology here is amazing, and we should click off some of these tactical tech, as you like to call it. I like that.
Yep.
I like that branding. But you have a satellite rendered trail mapping. So let's talk a little bit about that. That's not. I mean, it's that is a bigger advance than little pie plate locators on a trail that you might get.
Sure. Well, and it'll be more than just dropping breadcrumbs along your way as well. And we're gonna be offering more information about that to come, but it's something that we're really excited about. It'll be offered in the SUV and the pickup, and it'll be a chance to truly go off road and through the trails with as we come up. We're partnering with a third party, and we're gonna have more information on that to come. But it'll truly make an off-road experience more enjoyable and ease your mind when you're trying to find your way in or out.
That's amazing. What I'm just curious about how you manage. What I didn't look at the weight of the vehicle. I mean, it looks huge, and it must weigh about 6,000 pounds.
Well, we haven't released information about the weight of the vehicle yet, but needless to say, there's a lot of batteries on the vehicle as an electric vehicle with up to 300-mile range or 300+ mile range. So it's about the size. To put it in some conventional terms, it's the size of a GMC Sierra pickup, and then we pick up some width with the vehicle too for suspension travel and articulation of the suspension. And so it's really it's comparably sized to a crew cab pickup with the additional width for suspension travel.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty familiar size. I mean, it's
well, yeah. The important thing too about a Les is, though, it's a large vehicle, but it's having driven it myself, I can say with the 4-wheel steer, and I think we saw a little video on the crab walk. By having 4-wheel steer for the vehicle, this SUV its stern circle down to 35.4 feet, which is smaller than many conventional mid-sized cars or SUVs.
Oh, yeah.
So I can say driving this vehicle, it's a good-sized truck, but it drives very small and very nimble, and that'll be great for off-roading as well as for people who may drive it every day to the stores or dropping the kids off or whatever. It's very small feeling and very nimble feeling that we've accomplished for the vehicle.
And that's important because people don't want to feel like something is just, oh my gosh, this isn't maneuverable enough.
Yeah.
35 feet is a very small turning radius. I mean, that's mid-size sedan territory.
We are talking with Tom Namovich, who is the Hummer EV product guy. And Tom, let's talk a little bit more about some of those things you mentioned in greater detail. Crab walking. This is something I always thought it would be cool, especially in New York City, if you could slide right into a parking spot, even though I think I'm a pretty good parallel parker. But this is a first for any vehicle that I can think of. And then also you have 4-wheel steering, which GM showed off, I remember, a number of years ago on their pickup, but now it's integrated into this vehicle as well.
Right, and it's the 4-wheel steer that enables the crab walk, and the 4-wheel steer on its own, and that's the part that makes the vehicle more nimble and tighter turn circle. And by having the 4-wheel steer, it enables the crab walk, which allows the rear wheels to turn the same as the front wheels to offer diagonal driving of the vehicle at lower speeds. So that whether you're off trail facing a rock in front of you, and you may have a wall on one side of you and you need to get around it, and you don't want to do multiple point turns to get past an obstacle, you can do that by driving the vehicle diagonally. And that 10 degrees doesn't sound like a lot, but when you actually see it in motion and feel it, you're actually, you're facing forward and the vehicle is moving diagonally. And it's really it's a
cool.
great and functional experience. And you mentioned driving in the city too. There could be use for that as well. Whether it's in a large city or otherwise. So it's really fun.
I just picture getting into tight parking spaces and they'll say he'll never be able to get in there, and then you throw it into the crab walk mode and they're like, oh my. Hey, we will be right back with more from Tom Namovich, who is the Hummer EV product manager. And stay tuned to Cruise Control. I'm Fred Staub. He's Les Jackson. We will be right back. More on the Hummer EV SUV. Get even more automotive content from Cruise Control. Head over to our Cruise Control YouTube page and subscribe.
Cruise Control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Les and I are here talking about an incredible vehicle from the folks at Hummer. GMC Hummer would be accurate. You will not, when you see this vehicle, you'll say, yes, that is a Hummer. This is the SUV version, all electric, incredibly loaded with lots of technology. And we are talking with Tom Namovich, who is the Hummer EV product manager, about this vehicle. There's so much to talk to. We covered a lot, Tom, but on the inside, this thing is loaded with technology as well and loaded with luxury, but it still has a very tactical look, a very military look. It hasn't gone soft on the inside, has it?
No, it hasn't. And I don't know if those were the words our designers might use, but we've got a premium interior. We've got a 12.3-inch screen for the cluster, a 13.4-inch center infotainment HD screen, and it just speaks to what the vehicle is inside and out. There's cues to what the Hummer EV is on the inside that match the outside, and we've got a very premium interior with the colors we're showing here. This is our lunar shadow interior that debuts with the SUV, and we also have a higher contrast interior with the lunar horizon, which is a light gray accent where we see the taupe colored here. So it's a great premium feel interior that complements the exterior of the vehicle, and it's a great feel. And seeing the image right now, the infinity roof sky panels are removed, and that further really improves or gives the feel of the outside world coming in. And you can see it's like a convertible. It is with the roof panels removed and the infinity bar removed in the front, the I bar, then it's a convertible while you're driving the vehicle too. So it's really an exciting feel when you're navigating the roads or the trails.
Very open air. Is that screen adjustable? It looks like it will fold back and forth a little bit.
The center screen is fixed.
It's fixed. Okay, because it looked like it might be adjustable. I don't know why you'd adjust it, but.
Well, let's talk about more of the technology here. You also basically have a power station on board, Tom. I mean, of course, you've got a lot of batteries, and why not be able to power things when you're out on the trail? It makes good sense, doesn't it?
Right. Yeah, for sure. So with our power station that will debut with the SUV, we can tap 3 kilowatts, 120 volt power out of the vehicle. So we can power a campsite, a small work site, power certain devices in your home if you lose power. And then another great feature for this power station is we can take 6 kilowatts of 240 volt out to power another electric vehicle, to charge another electric vehicle or an electric toy, as we're going to start seeing more, whether they're side-by-sides or electric motorcycles or otherwise, we can tap power for that also.
Do you have towing capability out yet on this vehicle?
We haven't released the information yet. We're working through the final details as our engineers are taking the analytical world and then actually applying that to real tests. And we'll be releasing towing information later.
Yeah, super vehicle. I like how they've used a lot of the Apollo program basically, and it talking about moonshots and things like that, and the lunar name for interiors. I think that's pretty cool.
I just like the way it's been executed. It appears it's got the family resemblance, but as you said, it's an all new technology, all new everything vehicle that stands on its own. I just did a quick calculation on the available electric power that you can pull off of it. I could run simultaneously my central air conditioning, my refrigerator, and my TV off of that. So I'm sold.
There you got it. You got an order, Tom.
That's it.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
And also, let's talk about charging. 800-volt DC public fast charging capability, up to 300 kilowatts. What?
Yeah, that's something where, I mean, for a vehicle to be truly accepted and used as an electric vehicle, you got to be able to charge it quick too. So with this 300 kilowatt charging, it'll make it much easier. And we come out and we've stated that at least for the pickup, we can get about 100 miles in 10 minutes or about 10 minutes.
Wow.
And we expect similar performance for the SUV, and it'll make the vehicle very usable and in everyday life. And that's what we need. What we really need to have as we transition to electric vehicles.
Well, what is the range on it? We should ask about that. I mean, you can get 100 miles in 10 minutes. Did you say 15 minutes?
About 100 miles in 10 minutes for the pickup, and around the same for the SUV.
What's the overall
and
range?
so the range for the SUV is 300 plus miles, and then for the edition one with the off-road package, it's 280, a little bit more than that. Those are early estimates too, and we'll see the final numbers come when we get closer to production.
Wow. You know what I'd like? I'd like to see, Tom, somebody take one of these, obvious too early in the game, and turn it into an overlander with some kind of camper body on it somehow, maybe to fit in the pickup model. Wouldn't that be cool?
Well, we're going to offer over 200 accessories for the launch, and we haven't released all the information on our accessories yet, but we're working through that now as well. And there'll be plenty of surprises for our accessories. And yeah, one thing you're saying too, as an overland vehicle, and to make this vehicle usable by everybody, we're going to have a whole host of accessories for the truck and for the SUV.
I think that's great. I mean, obviously the aftermarket would be making accessories right now if they knew you weren't making accessories. But I always like it when the factory engineers design an accessory to not only fit and work correctly, but to warrant the device, which is really important.
Yeah, you guys.
Well, and we with our fast development time for this vehicle, we really challenge our accessory team to have a whole host of accessories ready when we start production. But we're gonna have some great and exciting accessories for the vehicles too, for sure.
Tom, are people putting down deposits already on these?
Yeah, we took pre-orders, or we're taking pre-orders now for both body styles, and the pickup, we took pre-orders in October, and we sold out our edition one for the pickup, and then this past weekend we started the pre-orders for the SUV, and we sold out the edition one for that vehicle as well. And we do offer a similar highly equipped trim that's still available for pre-order for the SUV and for the pickup. And then we're also offering pre-orders for the Hummer EV2 and the Hummer EV2X for the standard and the mid trim for the vehicles also.
Would there ever be a fleet version of this, a real basic version for people that just need to go and, check high power transmission lines into the woods or something like that? It obviously this is a high end vehicle right now with a lot of technology, but I wonder if that would
Right.
ever be in a consideration.
Well, we're focusing on for the addition one. It's a very well equipped vehicle, and we got the other trims to follow. And as a company, General Motors announced that we're going to have an electric Silverado coming up too.
Right.
So we've got a couple different opportunities for our company and for GMC brand to meet the needs of our customers. We're gonna we do have a very, very capable vehicle here, and it will be used for regular people as well as for fleet customers here. And we're gonna focus on satisfying true off-road aficionados and premium EV truck buyers at the launch.
Tom, real quick, where should people go for information on these vehicles?
Go to gmc.com, and it'll be right on the top of the page for the Hummer EV.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. Tom Namovich, the Hummer EV product manager. Can't wait to get into these vehicles.
Impressive.
Looking forward to getting you in them. Thanks, Fred. Thanks, Les.
All right. Good deal.
Thank you.
Cruise Control is your on-air automotive magazine. Go to cruisecontrolradio.com.